That's what a natural 20 gets you.
Y'all are welcome.
You know what your description gives you? It's like an angry condom.
That's not too far off. That's
you forgot the tassel cue. Needs a little tassel.
A little tassel. Welcome back to another episode of Night School. As we last left off, finally finding some brief moment of respite at Finley's house. After seeing the last rites of Kelnis Imrish at the Zaget, you also uncovered that there were multiple plots to kind of overthrow who has power among the Dragonborn clans. The Coppers did indeed take over the clan, killing Doxin before you fled, stealing a few of their unhatched eggs that some had been tampered with by Q and Asira's kind of doing through some elixir. And then you fled west, where after dropping an egg, you managed to escape some flying arrows from the Dragonborn archers that were at the western gate, and you fled to the south, finally making it to Finley's house. When you got there, you found that the inside had been littered, crammed full, every nook and cranny, with boxes of various different items. One that you did manage to open up that had a lot of bottles of Johannesson Vineyard wine. Finally, being exhausted, you sat down and began to have a brief conversation with Asira, who I believe right before we left had given you information about Velasa, saying that indeed Velasa was apparently related to and was the sister of Renata, which was why there was so much conversations between her and Kalakesh in the days of Cain. So at this moment, we're going to go ahead and open back up as you sit huddled near the wall by the front entrance of Finley's house, with wine bottles flowing and the group together.
You know, if you look at it this way, it's not half bad having someone break into your house and, dump hooch everywhere. I mean, look, I've had plenty of other bad things happen, but, it's really not that bad.
I mean, I feel like wine is a way better thing to have left in your house than, I don't know, horse poop.
It's definitely a better St. Nicholas gift than most.
St. Nicholas.
Realizing that the rest of the group didn't pick up on the last thing that Asira said, Q's gonna go and sit next to Asira and just kind of wait for the rest of the group to go talk more about the wine or whatever, and just kind of separate herself from being in the middle of the group.
I think we should open every single box, because every single box is in my house, so it's totally fine if we open every single box. What if there's not wine? What if there are other things in there? Nobody?
And there'll be other things in there.
Yeah, but what are they? They're in my house. Can we open every box? I
mean, it's your house, so...
That's my point!
Don't see why you can't.
We could open every box. Y'all are not as excited about this as me. It's like presents.
I think you guys should go and open more boxes.
Nobody can fit in there with me. Raystrom, you haven't tried. Come to my
house. I would rather not try to squeeze through there. Would you like to?
It's okay. It's okay, Finley. It's okay.
Would it be okay if I
to give you a little kick to get in there?
What if Raystrom gives you something to open it inside your house? Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah, can we do
Would you mind if I built you a bigger door?
Tunnel?
I mean, are y'all gonna stick around? Or are you gonna leave or come back and visit?
Well, I mean, I plan on building
gonna
you like
Stay a
uh
while?
a dual latch door, which would allow for, a shorter vertically shaped person to fit through, and then a taller vertically shaped person to fit through. And you
It opens like this, not like this.
it makes a whoosh sound.
Bing bong.
And I'd still like to build you a workbench
Okay.
that I could work off of.
I mean, I feel like if you're gonna like come into the house with more ease, we would have to widen the tunnel a little bit. Not like saying you're fat. I just mean you're larger than most gnomes.
I would agree with that assessment.
Okay. Okay.
All right, well, let's get to work on that.
She'll head off and you'll begin to scope out the door. Vox,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Vox is going to try to examine the boxes a little more carefully. He wants to kind of look more or less to see if this is more signs of smuggling and it's just like the wine is a cover for something else, or if, just anything suspicious,
You're checking the box that y'all just opened, or are you waiting for them to get the other stuff out of the house?
Oh, I thought it was in the house because I got kicked into it.
You never got pushed into the house.
No, okay,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
We end up kicking
And
you
we
back
pulled-
out.
I think we had pulled one box out because Asira had put the egg. She pulled all the wine out and put the eggs in, right?
Okay, so I guess the box is at least handy. Like Vox is going to see if he can find any, anything suspicious that looks like there's more to this than just they're running, bootlegging or whatever.
All right, so you head over and begin to walk towards the boxes the box was already opened. You have your moment. Q.
Asira, tell me more about when Renata left.
She was
Or rather, why Renata left.
I never actually met Renata in person, but her name kept popping up in different correspondences between one of our old generals. See, before Velasa took power, the leader of the Copper clan was a dragonborn named Vera. Quite bitchy. Always used to drive my parents crazy. Very aggressive, believed in the strength of the dragonborn, and always would write and proclaim that one day the dragonborn would once again overtake the entire island and overthrow the humanoids. When I lost my position as a general, I spent most of the first few days cleaning up the mess that was left after Rokum's death, thinking that I would find something that he had been looking at, or something that was hidden. Didn't find much. But then I ran across a journal from Vera's own time serving as the Copper General. She wrote of an odd circumstance among the true-born dragons. That there was a true-born that had been born under the chromatics, which we've been raised to believe is impossible. So that got me thinking that there has to be records. So I was lucky enough that you found the records that we needed to prove that there were chromatics who have been born with tails. My thought at first was to share this with Doxson, but Velasa wouldn't leave his side.
I noticed.
Well, I dug a little deeper, And eventually, Velasa started coming to talk to me. She would come every day to the antiquary looking for odd tomes and information. Whatever I'd pull, she would peruse over for days on end and every day storm out, upset that she was missing something. When I was cleaning up one of the books, that's actually where I found the journal. Apparently, this Renata that I had been speaking to had a twin sister. We're not sure what her name was, but it was around the same time that Velasa was born. Say 60, 63 years ago.
Is that possible? Because Velasa is not a chromatic.
I mean, that is kind of a mystery. But then again, I showed you today that we can alter the coloration of our scales if need be.
Well, I haven't seen this one yet, so I'm not completely sure that it worked, but have you done it before? The
What?
injections, I mean.
No,
So how do you know it works?
I don't.
Okay.
But it was better to try than to just watch my. And then as she says that, you see there's a hesitation. If you want to take a look at the journals, I did manage to sneak out a few of the pages.
I would.
She kind of reaches into her bag and pulls out a small handful of crumpled up papers and hands them to you. Do you speak Draconic?
I don't
Well,
believe so. I
mean,
don't.
they're yours. A lot of it is scratched out, but the basic gist is Vera took two of these chromatics. I believe they were green in coloration. She thought that by use of some sort of ritual, she could change the coloration and create one to be reborn as metallic
After it had already hatched?
after it already hatched. Her plan, I guess, was to somehow coax in the chromatics into seeing that they had the potential to rise above their station. Like I said, her thoughts were always about unifying all Dragonborn to take down those who are not.
Wouldn't it just be easier to actually just unite the Dragonborn instead of changing the Dragonborn that are already born to be other Dragonborn?
That sounds like it'd be easier, except for any culture that is a Dragonborn. Our hatred of each other goes back years, millennia.
And how do you feel about it?
Look, I grew up and said and did brutal things to chromatics. That's how I was raised. My daughter was different. I'm learning.
That's good. Well, one last question before I take these. When or how, rather, did you become one that was not marked?
Technically, I don't know if I'm officially. Whenever Rokum passed, I started taking over his correspondence with Renata. She mentioned a few things and said that there were phrases that I should use if visitors were to show up unexpectedly.
She was right.
Still, I'd like to meet with her. I have a feeling
She'll be more welcoming to you than she was to any of us.
If he is chromatic, then this might be harder than it sounds.
Yeah.
But I still feel like if Velosa is connected in some way, Renata would want to know. And as I can't send out a pseudo dragon right now, I guess that's where I know I'll be heading next.
That's good to know. Well, thank you for your stories. I'm going to go just kind of look and not be able to decipher these journals.
Oh, one more thing. There was one book that Velosa seemed very eager about. It was the last time she came in. She said she dug through so many things, info on the Zaget, territories, layouts. Said that she was searching for genetic lineages, tracking illnesses, looking for ways to save Dachshund. But then she started mentioning something called the Golden Ascension.
The Golden Ascension?
I've always thought that she was talking about when we make a new leader of the Golden Scales, but that was way before any of this happened. It would have been too blatant for her to show she was posing a risk towards Dachshund that publicly. I tried to keep the book, begged her that it shouldn't leave the antiquary, but she said that it was harmless, that it shouldn't have been there in the first place.
So she took it and didn't bring it back?
No.
Did you find any mention of this Golden Ascension in any other book or tome or journal that you found?
No. But knowing the book that she took, I don't think it's going to be in any scholarly work.
And which book was it?
I used to read stories from it to Kelnis when she was little. It's called The Legends of Liore. A book of fables, bedtime stories, woeful tales and heroic adventures. Try to tell me what that means.
I think a lot of stories that we tell our children and as we get older, they start somewhere. At some point, some part of it had to have been true. You didn't get any look at what was actually in it?
Well, I mean, I've read the book many times.
Oh. Do you remember the story?
There's more than one.
Well, I'll keep an eye out. Or an ear.
Well,
Can I
if
get you anything?
No, she reaches in and grabs another bottle, starts uncorking it. I'm good to go.
As I'm walking away, Q's gonna turn back and like point to the egg and say, so how long until it hatches? I don't know how this works.
Do you have a true dragon that you can kill?
No.
Then not yet.
Well, okay. So it seems pretty dark. That's really the only way a dragon can be born?
Oh no. We have lots of dragonborn that are born of natural means.
But to be a true dragonborn, you have to kill another true dragonborn?
Circle of life.
It's a very selective circle. Okay. And Q's gonna go and find Finley.
Fox, go ahead and roll an investigation check.
All right, that is a 21.
Woohoo!
You dig through the box and the filling, the straw. It just seems like bottles of wine.
Okay, and so you said on the bottle there was a Grim Reaper, correct?
It's just a sight, like a Grim Reaper sight, but it's
sight.
overturned so that the curve is shaped like a J, and that spells out Johansson.
Okay. All right, and we found something that said in Thieves Camp that it was the pickup was Yavin 12. Is that correct?
Yeah.
How many days, weeks is that?
It is currently.
I think I wrote it down.
You too.
I think you have
I
10
think we have like
days.
6 days, 10 days.
10.
I think you have 10 days.
10 days? All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so if
Oh, tomorrow's the 3rd, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. All right. So, okay, if that's the case, then Vox is going to. Man, I guess Vox is going to try to figure out a plan to kind of like apprehend or see how they're going to deal with this sort of altercation. Because if they're showing up in 10 days, either we need to back and go or we need to retaliate. So Vox is thinking retaliation. It just seems
right.
Easier.
Q, as you walk over, you see Finley is kind of staring at the door, and as this towering human male is just kind of like checking the structure and like swinging the door open back and forth. It's something you could easily do, Raystrom, if you had the materials and the tools. You would have to dig out a lot of the tunnel, make sure that it's still structurally sound so it doesn't cave in, and then actually building the door, finding a way to secure it, the hardware.
I know where to find a tree.
And what color? Don't you dare cut down my 41-degree angle tree. And I go into a rage.
No, you don't.
Multi-classing!
Could you, what color would it be?
What's your favorite color?
I mean, I guess green.
I feel like
and
this is
brown.
the second time I've asked you this.
Yeah, I remember I like the greens with the grass, but I like the blue like the sky.
Turquoise.
I would go with more of a brown, so your door's a little bit more camouflaged.
I have a swatch.
That's where we're going today. We're going to Sherwin. We're going to Sherwin's.
To Sir Sherwin's of Williams.
All right. You have the rest of the night to yourselves. If there's
Well,
anything you'd like to do.
I guess we can figure that out when it's more light, but maybe a little worse for wear. And I want to open more boxes, but I need help getting them out. So maybe do we relax the rest of the night? I'm so excited to have company. I'm just bummed you can't come in my house. I didn't think of that.
It's okay. I mean, at least I'm kind of used to just sleeping outside. So.
And you're here at my house, not in my
know.
house, but at my house. And there's the tree.
There is the
lake.
tree.
That's my house.
Yes.
And you're here. You're all here.
Yeah.
So as y'all look out, now that you've had a little time to gauge the situation and realize you're just casually staying here, the house itself, when you turn around, to the left of it, there is a small thatched wooden kind of fence that makes a sort of pin, three-sided, that hits, it's almost like half a hexagon that hits into the wall itself near the house. There seems to be no livestock or animals there. However, it is well trotted with footprints in kind of track marks within the rough terrain inside. By the 41-degree tree that's hanging off, to the right of it, there is a small stone fire pit and what looks like an oddly placed section of stumps. When you get closer, these are actually chairs that have been made out of dead or like almost petrified wood stumps from other trees. 3 of them that are Finley size and 2 that are slightly smaller. Further out in the cool kind of shuffling of the water that's kind of rocking back and forth a little bit with the wind, you see about 100 yards off into the lake itself, there is a smaller jut of land that sticks out. And then to the other side of the tree, in the water itself, there are a bunch of large stones that have been placed that seem to make a small, secluded, almost pool, where there's a small area where the water itself can flow in and out easily, but it's enclosed on most of the sides. Near the shoreline next to that are two small, gnome-sized boats. And there is a gentle trickle of rain that is beginning to kind of dab at your skin.
This really is a beautiful place.
Thank you. I'm partial to it myself.
Do you have other family, Finley?
No.
You've always lived here by yourself?
No.
No.
Do you want to talk about it?
Not yet.
Okay.
So, do you have any like donkeys or livestock?
Nah, I just mostly walk everywhere. It gets the job done. I'm not as fast as Al, but
You walk like in circles in the same place over and over again?
no, I just walk wherever I need to go.
I'm gonna like point over to like the area where it looks like animals have like trodden over it. I'm just wondering. That was it.
Does Vox need to like go over and investigate that, or was that just something we could all kind of see, like from your description? That was all just stuff we saw.
This is all stuff that's out in the open, not hid or camouflaged. It's just there.
Did you inherit this this land from someone else, or?
I mean, I grew up here. This is my family's home.
My
home.
Very nice home. Very nice home.
So are those your boats and stable and things?
Y'all are asking a lot of questions.
We don't mean to pry. Just wondering.
It comes with the job, I think.
I'm actually pretty tired, so
Just,
I'm gonna
just try to get a lay of the land.
Yeah. So Q's gonna grab like the top of the box and that we opened earlier and kind of go over to where the fire pit is and kind of create like a little like lean just to put her head under and like, okay, well, good night.
It covers about your shoulders to your head.
Yeah.
As you do approach and you start stacking it on leaning it up against the stonework, written on the side stones in continuous writing all the way around the outside layer is repeated. What language do you speak here?
Common, Elvish, Orc, and Thieves' Cant.
Yeah, you don't understand what it is.
Okay. I make a mental note to possibly maybe ask Finley about it later if she seems up to it.
Yeah. As for the rest of you, what are y'all doing for the rest of the night?
I'm gonna go sit by Asira. I'm gonna like kind of recline against a rock next to her, and I'm gonna ask her to tell me a story. Will you tell me a story?
I don't know if now is the time for social niceties. I lost my daughter today.
I know.
Maybe
and
another time.
I don't know what that feels like, but maybe the chance to think back on better times. It helps sometimes.
She kind of turns her body over and then leans against the side of the box and turns her back to you.
I pat her on the shoulder and I kind of roll over the other way.
Raystrom's gonna take a few more like sketches and measurements of the door area and sort of have a game plan on what he needs for tomorrow. And then he's gonna head towards Q to ask her if she likes some company for the evening.
I mean, there's kind of only room for one, but just kind of make the thing fall over.
I mean, with some rope, we could tie it off the tree and prop it up so we have a little bit more of a ceiling.
I guess you're right, but I'm just so tired. And Q's gonna go through her bag, or wait, nope, she doesn't have her bag. You're right, with some rope, that would be a good idea.
I mean,
So you just laying down there, Raystrom?
yeah, after I'm gonna try and make the little area a little bit more livable for the night.
Fox?
Fox is gonna wait till it's a little bit darker because judging by Finley's reaction, he knew something was up. So he's gonna wait till a little bit later, and then he is going to, once it's darker, since that's not an issue for him, he is going to try to examine those. He's going to try to examine the pen, possibly the boats, and the and those. Did you say they were like seats, like gnome-sized seats or whatever? He wants to like check all that stuff out, but he doesn't really want to draw too much attention to it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a stealth check.
18.
You seem to be you wait until everybody seems to be asleep and you make your way around the camp. It just seems like what a normal household would have who's by themselves. You have a place for livestock, maybe chickens, maybe pigs, small things that would provide continuous surplus of food. There's boats for fishing. You do see a couple of fishing poles that are tucked away near the bent over tree. As for the chairs, they just seem like chairs.
Is there a way to check for footprints, like of recent use, or like, just any sign of like, recent ongoings?
I believe we did that last time. And it was just that it's regular traffic.
Okay, it's just regular traffic.
Yeah.
All right, so, okay. All right, and check the boats. Just
It's fishing boats, yeah.
Just
There's nothing out of place.
Right. Okay. Eckerlin will start kind of bedding down for the night, but he's going to start formulating a plan because he doesn't know who this is, but he's getting into tracker mode. So he wants to catch a trail at some point.
Right. Eventually, it does begin to turn from a light sprinkle into a heavy downpour. As you do get your rest, I need everybody to roll a Constitution saving throw, as you are exposed to the elements.
Ducks looking up in the rain. He didn't roll.
I know, I was like, re-roll.
That's a 4.
3.
11.
19.
All right. Raystrom, you pass. Everybody else, that's 1 level of exhaustion, as you do not get a really good night's sleep.
Oof.
You wake up cold, damp,
Oh,
and very, very disgusting.
Oh, I've had worse night sleeps. Oh,
Well, you look fine.
I mean, it was.
In the morning, is it still raining?
It is a little bit, yeah,
Okay.
not as heavy.
Okay.
Finley's in the lake catching fish for breakfast.
Okay.
For everybody.
So
Q is just going to see Finley in the lake and be like, that's probably a good idea because I'm all muddy.
I got it. I'm catching breakfast for everybody.
Okay. Is just gonna go and just kind of like wash her face off and like try to clean up a little bit. So what's for breakfast?
Fish. And more fish. And some more fish. I hope you like fish because I haven't been here in a while. So
There's lots of fish.
The larder's a little not stocked well.
Oh.
But there's plenty of fish in the lake. Protein.
Fish is fine. Fish
Fish
is
it
good.
is.
Yeah. Can I help with anything? Maybe at least, I don't know, I'm not very strong, but maybe moving some things around in your place so you can get around?
Yes, please. Yes, please. I'm already like thinking ahead about the boxes and it's such a pain to drag them out. And what if they get damaged? So really they should stay in the house, but really they're in the way everywhere. And I still want to open all the boxes. Should we open all the boxes?
I mean, we can open some, mostly because I don't know. Usually when there's like a sketchy drop off, it's not usually just bootleg wine.
That's why there could be other things in the boxes.
I know, I agree with you, but I also think we should be very careful because whoever left this here is going to come back and expect either all of the boxes or whoever is here to pay for boxes that are not there.
Well, they haven't been paying rent.
I know. And
so I feel like the exchange is fair game.
Yeah.
But I realize I can't back that up by myself. And I wouldn't ask y'all to do that.
Well, I mean, not to like tell you that we're staying, but we did kind of tell Concern and Jocelyn that we would stay to send our stuff here. So we're probably staying at least until then.
Perfect.
And I mean, you're really nice, very, very nice. So, I mean, I would never say like, you can't come with us wherever we go afterwards. I mean, I don't know, like you have such a beautiful home here, but like, excuse me if this is too honest, but you don't seem very attached to this place. I mean, you do in the fact that like you talk about it very lovingly, but you were gone for a long time. So I don't know if you'd want to leave again or I don't know. I love this place, you're right, but I don't stay here for long periods of time. It's kind of like a home base. I got that. I have a home base too.
Where's your home base?
Well, it's not my home base. The home base is more the person, the people. It's Kalakesh.
But isn't that a place?
It is a place, but like you have like your home. I have my mom's tree hut that I don't know if still standing, but I know she's in in that whole place. So I don't care what
part is.
Yeah. I'm just, yeah.
Kimura.
Well, I'm not like a super like heartsy person.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I mean, I know the people who are there and I'm there for those people too. That's all there is to it.
Okay. But can we at least rattle around some of the boxes? What if we find a box that has not wine in it? Can we just?
Well, I don't mind opening all the boxes. That's what I was trying to say. I don't mind opening all the boxes, but I don't want to like
every single one
take.
No, I don't want to take anything.
I just want to know what's in there.
Yeah, I don't want to take anything. I just want to open every box and know what's in every single box.
And then if the stuff is worth fighting for or taking, maybe then we can reassess the situation.
We can get to that when we get to that.
Yeah.
You're so quick. Y'all are so quick for fighting.
It comes with the past.
Ugh.
You get used to it.
Ah! Fox, when did you get here?
I've been here. I'm Disney accent. I've been here basically the whole time. I'm a little bit, sneaky at times.
What did you roll for stealth? Because my passive perception is an 18, bitch.
Oh, that's a fail. That's a 4. So. Hello.
Q's just side-eyeing you the whole time you're creeping up.
Eating so slow.
You're sitting there like
Slow,
washing your
so
face. So Finley's like on the 41-degree tree fishing. Q is in the corner like carefully washing herself off, not trying to disturb any of the fish. And then you see it coming off the other end. It's just Vox, like just all the fish scattering as he's just like dragging through the water trying to come up to you guys.
Well, I guess it's time for
This
breakfast.
is miserably
so-
cold.
Yeah, let's go cook this.
Well,
Maybe-
I mean, it's mostly the weather, Box. It's not. And the fact that you can't get into the house, that probably won't be great, but.
I know, I'm so sorry about that.
Well, after Raystrom is done widening your door, there'll be.
Then
a
you can
little
all
more
come
room.
in. Race. We should go tell him to make it big enough for a dragonborn too. Let's go. I'll go start. Q, you could go in the kitchen and you can pick the spices for breakfast for the fish, okay?
Pick the spices for breakfast.
To go on the fish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And those would be which ones?
Whatever you like on your fish. Do you like salt? Do you like pepper?
Yeah. Okay. just whatever I like on the fish.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, my home is your home right now. Make
Okay.
yourself at home.
Just so we have like this moment of bonding. What do you like to put on your fish?
I mean, it depends on the day. Sometimes I just put a little whatever's in there.
Got it. Okay. Spices for the fish coming right up. Q goes back into the
And I'm
hole.
gonna put the fish on the fire.
Box is getting awful close to that fire. Oh, that's a lot better. Ooh.
Raystrom. I have a great idea.
What's up, Finley? I'm searching around over here trying to find any shovels or axes or stuff you may have out in this little area, or if you have like a little coop or something for the dragonborn eggs.
Why would I have a coop for the dragonborn eggs?
Well, it wouldn't be a coop for the dragonborn eggs, but if you had like a chicken coop or some kind of housing out here, so that way I can use that box to make a sort of makeshift frame for your new door in the meantime before I can properly chop down a tree and strip some wood to make you a proper door.
Could we make a nest
Well, yeah, we probably could.
with like sticks and stuff? Like birds do.
Well, I mean,
like birds do.
Yeah, but dragons aren't birds. They do have wings.
I
But
know.
that'd be a question for Sierra. Like, I bet you she would know exactly what those eggs needed.
Maybe you should ask her. But also for the door, we should make a door in a tunnel. You're doing most of the work. Thank you so much. I'll help where I can, but we should make the door in the tunnel big enough for Dragonborn to come in.
I don't know if you want that big, because if it's that big, you have all sorts of creatures that could come in your home. But like, big enough for them to duck down and go in for sure.
Okay.
I wouldn't want too big of a creature to be able to get in your home. You okay there?
Yeah, sorry.
You're a little jumpy.
Stuff is falling.
Did you have coffee this morning?
No.
Some coffee would be great.
I mean, I might have some tea. There might be tea left over. Do you want some tea?
Oh, I wouldn't mind some tea.
Okay. Tell Q. She's in there getting the spices for the fish.
Oh, okay. I'll tell her after I finish trying to find some equipment out here.
Okay. And talking to Asira.
Yes. That as well. Yes.
You
Okay,
look
I'm gonna
around,
on the fish.
and Asira is not anywhere near her.
Are the eggs still there?
The eggs are still there.
Is there any kind of like chicken coop or any kind of tool shed or anything out in this little sort of fenced in area?
Nope.
The fish is ready. It just needs spices.
You'll end up making your meal, and you have and you eat. We're not going to make you walk through every step of breakfast.
You
Yeah,
better
you
I'm
did
spice
it.
trying
that
to
right.
remember what Dakar put in the Feyrizo.
No, you have your meal, but Asira has not been present all morning.
So I guess the plan is try to get in the house, build the door, go through all the stuff.
You said we could open all the boxes. We're not going to take anything, but we're going to look at it all.
Well, I mean, just because I said I think that would be fun. I mean, still, it's a group decision. It's not
It would
just
be
me.
so much fun. 2 votes. 2 votes for opening the boxes like presents, but they're not ours to keep.
I'm up for opening that because some of
It's so
that
much
wood.
fun.
Well, that too, but just that wood would be very useful for some of this construction we need.
But what Q
But the enjoyment as well you would get from that opening, like, would be a bonus.
But I should be responsible because Q had a good point. And if the people who left this stuff came back, they're coming for this stuff. And it's probably easier to move the stuff if it's in the boxes. So we probably can't use all the boxes.
Well, that's why I'm just talking about. Like, you can open the lid to see what's inside it, so you get that excitement. But then I can use that.
Just the lid?
Yeah, the lid. Yeah, there should be enough.
I feel like
would-
that's fair.
I wouldn't need too much to start with, just to build the frame out, and then
And if they-
I couldn't find any tools, so I feel like unless anybody has like
Ooh. I have tools.
do you have like a axe or a shovel?
My tools are more of the tinkering type.
Your
Like, would
shed here that
would
you
Would you like a clockwork mechanism?
Not.
I mean, that
not
might be
yet.
helpful for the hinges.
Yes, that would definitely be useful down the road. Or possibly even when Burr shows up, I could help, have your help repairing him.
It's like you're going to take pieces off of her and be like, oh, that'll do great.
Just to unscrew that.
But Q, there was the battle Kelnus alluded to with those mechanical dragons. Was that?
I mean, it was when we were passing through here. I've never seen this place, so I don't exactly know how far it would be.
Okay.
You would know that you currently, since you came off the Zaget and are at Lake Plastos, you're on the eastern banks. When you traveled over the western banks.
Okay.
You'd have to cross the entire lake, or you'd have to find a way to go all the way around.
Okay.
I mean, the door's not that important. Last night was kind of miserable, and I felt bad that y'all couldn't come in the house.
I might have an idea. So gnomes were going with they're about 3 feet-ish high, or are they even smaller than that? They're like 2 feet.
I am exactly 3 feet tall,
On the nose.
36 inches.
Okay, so
I want to see a picture you go into a 7-Eleven, like next to the door.
this I want to run past you, Vasquez, just in case, but could I use polymorph to turn into something like a badger? to start kind of burrowing through so I could tunnel as well as just fit through the door.
Are you asking, can you turn into a badger?
Yes.
Yeah, it's polymorph.
All right. Because I don't have all the stats up. I'm still looking for some of these, but yeah, I'm going to turn into a badger and going to try to get my way into that house.
Alrighty. So you see Vox, who just kind of shrinks down into a badger form.
Whoa!
What? Is there?
That's right. He did do that once.
Is that Fox?
Oh yeah, the bat thing. Okay.
Fox is gonna.
Cute.
Fox is just gonna basically try to get through the door.
Yeah, he does it without saying anything, without warning.
yeah.
It just,
A little warning would be.
Close
So-
to how he operates.
So
Vox.
it's probably not polite to pet him.
Vox, are you just trying to get through the door, or are you trying to dig out the door?
Well, so my thought is like for Vox just wants to see what's inside.
Oh, yeah,
But
you can
he
easily get in.
Yeah, but he figures he can start digging around the door if he needs to, or just build another burrow. But he wanted to at least see what the place looked like.
The doors are open. I mean, you just have to be small enough to get through.
Yeah,
So if
well,
you
and
turn
that's
into
and that was his thought. So he's small enough just to see what like the get a scope of what the house looks like.
Yeah.
And then
Dig.
I guess after he has his fill of digging around, he's going to be quite literally digging. Are we getting the door out? Is that correct?
Why do
well,
you
I think the
Large.
door is like second priority right now.
All right.
I think first priority is just being able to get you guys inside.
into shelter? So
Yeah.
making the tunnel
So-
big enough for y'all.
Yeah, Vox will just try to make a bigger opening for the those
Crew.
over 36
Oh, yeah.
inches.
easily within the hour, you could dig out and widen that door. Can you please do me a favor and make me an intelligence check
Oh boy.
using the badger's intelligence?
Got my list.
And I say that Q went inside and is looking at the roof to see.
I'm going to
what's
say
happening.
probably no on this because he
Okay.
did it without acknowledging that you're going to have a plan. He just did it.
Okay, got it.
I am trying to find specifically a. Oh, here we go, giant badger. And you said it was intelligence. Oh boy,
I'm guessing that's low.
that's a negative. It's definitely a -4 there.
Woohoo!
All right,
high.
so
Roll high.
yeah, I know.
Please don't destroy my
Roll
house.
on. Nailed it.
Hold on. I'm trying to figure out how to do this on here. Okay, so it's a. So what is it? 12 minus.
I love that I can see these rolls now. Like, it makes me
Yeah.
so happy.
So it's I guess it's what, like a -4. So yeah, like that's like an 8.
Outside, you see this badger dive in and like scurry through, and you hear it kind of rummaging around. Remember that every room is jam packed with these boxes, so there's no real traveling to look at all of the interior rooms. After a bit of frustration, you come back out and you just see him madly digging at the interior. At which point, after about 20 minutes of digging, you see little bits of the earth begin to fall through, and then the whole upper section begins to slowly sink down, or just slamming down on the opening below. Go ahead and give me a dexterity saving throw as a badger.
My dex. Okay, that's actually not too bad. Okay. Well, I'm just trying to figure out how to other modifier. So. Okay. Nope, that is not right. Hold on, sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to do this with a different.
Just roll your d20 and then add the number
Yeah.
manually. We don't have to
Cool.
put
I think
on
it's- yeah,
the.
because it's sorry about that. Yeah, that is. Oh gosh, that's a fail. That's a 3.
All right, so you are going to suffer, I believe that's 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right. Okay.
Are you still a badger?
Maybe not after that.
So what's your HP as a badger?
HP is oh no, that's 3.
3. All right. So you immediately the earth falls on you and your body reverts back into Vox's form. You would carry over the 4 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
However, you are now trapped underneath the rock, and the rest of you are outside and just see this thing cave in.
No way to get him out.
Fox the Badger, my house. Fox the Badger.
Your house. I'm sorry.
The
I'm
Badger.
gonna I'm gonna start taking apart the lid and give Q and Finley a plank, and tell them to use it like as a shovel.
Oh,
Like we need to
Okay.
we need to shovel him out. We need to shovel him out.
My house.
okay, gonna start shoveling him out.
For a little bit of time, I mean, you're not suffocating. It's not like your whole body is caved in. It's just there's stonework around you. You do see 2 little boots sticking out of the front end, and you're able to kind of grab on and work your way out. That means, Vox, you would... Oh, not too bad. Only 2 more points of damage as you get dragged and just kind of scraped among this debris.
Gosh. My contacts are ruined.
Dax.
Yeah. So you have managed to successfully close the house to anybody.
Awesome.
What?
Are you okay?
You can't do that without talking to us first.
Yeah, sorry.
It would seem I was really excited because it seemed like such a good idea, but you got to talk to us first. I mean, I'm not an architect, but Raystrom probably could have seen this coming.
Raystrom can't see anything right now. He's gone.
He doesn't want a part of this argument.
Raystrom just walked away. Yeah.
Look, the idea just
He's
like
dying really hard right now.
it just dawned on me. It was just like, well, I could maybe become something and dig down there. And yeah, that was my first time being a badgers to
My house.
Yeah, your house.
The
oh, thank you, Christ.
boxes.
We'll get
The
back in
boxes
there.
are not as important anymore.
I can turn back into either a badger or
Yeah, I feel like you've done enough.
maybe something else.
Thank you. You've done enough. Thank you. You've done enough.
Fox will very sadly walk away.
I hope I didn't hurt his feelings.
No, I mean, it's your house, so it's okay to setting boundaries is really healthy. It's really
So when
healthy.
your friends are jerks.
My house. That's my home.
I want to help, but I don't know how to help. I don't know if we can help.
I don't know that we can. And now what if those people come back and they want the boxes and they can't reach them because they're under the dirt? They're going to be so mad at us.
Well, you know what? I mean,
It wasn't our
they
fault.
they did all of this without asking you. If they want their boxes, they're gonna have to work for it.
We're gonna have to.
Maybe we go hide in the woods and then we can watch them when they come back so they don't know it was us. But then we don't know what's in the boxes and we still don't have a house anymore.
It's.
I'm
I
really
mean, it's
sorry
not.
about
It's.
that.
It's just
Oh,
a
he
little
came
bit
back.
dark. Yeah, he's still like dusting himself. It's just a little bit of dirt. I'll turn back later and dig it all out and make it
But I don't
structurally better. And
think you can raise the roof back to the ground level.
I mean,
This was hollow and now it's not hollow. The hollow part's not hollow anymore. I mean, it wasn't because of the boxes, but now because of the
look,
ground. It's okay. It's not your fault. I don't blame you. I don't know what to think. I don't.
It's kind of his fault.
She's back.
Okay,
No,
I'll try
there's
again.
nothing. This is my home and this is my family home and it's not your fault, but I don't have a family anymore and this is all that was left and I just don't know what to do now and I'm gonna go for a walk. I'll see you in a little bit. And Finley walks off.
Is there any chance of finding a shovel? Look, I was just trying to dig in there and
I know, Vox. And I also I know we're not super close or anything, but and I know you meant well. I know you did. Just talk to us first before you do something like that, so we don't destroy people's houses.
It's
The intention was good. I know what you wanted to do, and I got really excited at first. It was A for effort. The execution needs improvement.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It's just nothing was happening, and so I wanted to see what was inside there. Because I mean, it's just, don't you think it's kind of weird that they're showing up with like bottles of, hooch and just cramming them inside? And if you look around here, this is not big enough for a normal person to be like, fitting that in. I mean, like, I'm not that big, and I couldn't even fit through the door. So I had to, it's like a ring of like bootlegging children, or I don't know, like maybe like there's like a gang of like gnomes.
Did you say a ring of bootlegging children?
Yeah.
That sounds almost as ridiculous as a baby dragonborn army. I'm just going to say.
Welcome to the Five Feathers.
You have officially been inducted.
So, like I was just like, I'm just curious. And,
I know. And I'm curious too. I also know, I mean, I've done quite a few deals that I'm not so proud of. And I mean, it's kind of best to, if you're not a part of it, just stay away and just kind of keep your head down. That's kind of what I think we all should do with this situation. I mean, because it's we either do that or we're going to end up in a fight, and we don't know who we're going to end up fighting.
Oh, Finley comes back. Or how many? What if it's a lot of bootlegging children?
It could be a lot of bootlegging children, and I don't know if we're ready for that.
Like a whole gaggle.
A gaggle of bootlegging children.
You can't beat a child, they're children.
Exactly. It would be frowned upon. You're so much taller than them. Me, on the other hand, it would be fine.
Yeah.
Vox is like, all right, well, yeah, I will go busy myself. And Vox is going to walk down the trail that looks like it's had the most recent wagon activity. Just, walk like 10 minutes.
I'm not mad at you, Vox.
So Vox, I'll let you pick north or south, because you're not getting anything from this area of activity. Yeah. So you're traveling north or south?
Let's go south.
Okay.
Hey, Raystrom, you don't have to worry about that door anymore.
I mean, I'm glad Vox is okay, but I would still like to shore it up for you.
Well,
is there anything
it's on the ground?
Is there anything we can do, or is this a lost cause?
I don't think it's a lost cause, but I don't know that it's worth the energy right now. I think maybe we let the bootlegging children take care of it to get their boxes, and then we can come back and reassess the damage, but it's okay.
I mean, I would just need some more stones, and we could rebuild an archway, and then.
And Q's gonna point to the home that has completely imploded and caved in, and say, "I don't know if a stone archway will help."
I mean, it's a start. It
is a start. It's a very thoughtful start. Maybe we could sleep in the boats until we figure something out.
I have some rope.
I'm just saying, I don't know. I still feel really tired from last night's sleep.
Well, I don't know that you can call it sleep. It was so rainy and cold and miserable.
I know. I just know we need to come back in a few days or stay here until we get our our things, Raystrom. But after that, we can figure out somewhere else to go.
So what if, oh, I almost thought we could like dig around and get just the tops to all the boxes and turn the boats like
Upside down?
up on their sides against the 41-degree tree, and then use the tops so it's like shelter.
Yes, it would be like a upside down boathouse.
Yeah.
I think we can do this. I don't know if I can carry a boat.
I can't carry, well, I can drag part of the boat when
Keep in mind, these are gnome-sized boats. So you're not getting as much coverage as you think you are.
Why are
Was
you
it
all
in a
so
tube?
gosh darn tall?
You're just tiny.
Vox,
There are 3 larger people here.
This is
You're
a
the
gnome
only one that's
home,
tiny.
but this is a gnome home.
It is. Well,
Yes.
but
Is that trademark?
Vox,
Hey.
about 6 or 7 minutes into your trek down towards the south, you do see the heavily wooded areas that are way in the distance of the start of the Deadwood, but there are a few patches of trees that kind of placate the land in between. As you get further along, tracing the kind of dirt pathway that leads across parallel to the line of the lake, you see up ahead your dragonborn friend Asira kneeled down near the lake bed, and you see her hunched over as there are a mound of stones in front of her, and you see her reach and take off this metallic circlet that she's been wearing this entire time, and you see her place it on top of the stones. Then you see inside her reach into her bag, and she pulls out, it's too far away to know exactly what it is, but as soon as it comes out, it has a glisten to it that even though it's slightly rainy, any sunlight that hits it like erupts with light off of what's in her hands. And she starts putting it underneath the stones and then starts putting stones back on top of it.
Like she's like almost like she's trying to hide it. Is that kind of what it feels like?
Maybe.
Vox is gonna try to sneak away from that. Just sneak past that.
Continuing south, or are you?
Yeah, continuing south.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a
yeah.
stealth check.
That's 10.
You get pretty close to where she is, and there's not a lot of give to get around her, but you make your best. And then she quickly turns around. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know anybody was following me. Vox it was, right?
Yes, yes. Sorry about that. No, I was just checking the trail. I didn't know anyone was out here. I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry for the whole situation. But killing this was really wonderful. But yeah, sorry to interrupt.
No, please stay. It'd be nice
Is
to
that
have
okay?
a little company.
Vox will sit down next to her, and I don't know if he's got. Well, he might have a little bit of like pooch on him or something like that.
Nobody should be alone. Not on Rose. Not on Rose Taluf. At which point she kind of touches her brow where the circlet was, and then puts her hand on the rock. And you see her close her eyes as she mutters, Kakrodom Yunin Beodet.
Yeah, Vox isn't gonna be able to pick that up. Vox is just gonna try to like like just observe, just kind of understand what's going on without interrupting.
Is there anybody that you are honoring today?
I guess I'm not really familiar with what today is. I'm pretty foreign, so yeah, I'm still learning the calendar.
You're foreign from this island.
Yeah, but it really starts to get complicated. It has to be a little.
It's your business. No. Today, Rastolov in the Dragon Tongue, I believe the capital calls it the Parents' Feast. It is a day where we remember those elders who have gone before us. And even though my daughter is, well, no parent should have to celebrate in place of their child. The words we speak, Kagla Domunim Beodet, is our prayer to the Dreadnought to not forget us. That one day we will be reunited. It is custom to visit the grave sites of your departed. But as true dragons are released back into the ether to be reborn again in the cycle of new dragon, I am unable, at least not in the Zaget. So I make Kelnis a new place where part of her at least will be. And as you look down, you see on the top stone there is one of the scales that were passed down that is sitting on top of it. And she reaches and grabs another stone and puts it on top of the scale. Someplace for me to come back to. I should get back.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. It's a weird time right now, but we'll be looking out for you. So, hopefully we'll find some ground under our feet at some point and feel a little more stable and sticky.
Are you coming back to the house, or?
I'm gonna keep looking around. I just want to follow the tracks and I think it'll give me something to do. Plus, don't think Finley wants me too close to the house right now. It's looks like.
Be safe. You are approaching the outer skirts of the Deadwood. Not a good place to be by yourself. And then she walks and starts heading back to Finley's.
Oh God. Vox is just gonna kind of like take a step forward and just kind of like look farther down, see if the tracks really look that like
interesting,
and just be like, maybe I'll turn around. Yeah, Vox will head back. Maybe things will calm down.
Right. What about the rest of you? Back at camp, back at home.
We figured out that the boats won't work. I mean, it might work for like you and me, but that's about it.
Yeah. So could we? I mean, I never imagined this happening to my home, so I don't know how to fix it. Like, I don't know that we can't just. It's not all one piece. We can't just push it back up.
We can, like I said, Finley, we can rebuild. I'd have to get some stone for an archway. We have plenty of lumber right now if we use some of these crates.
But we can't get to the crates because they're under the dirt. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
We could almost when were they supposed to come back?
9 days.
9 days. We could wait for them to come back and dig all this out for us.
That's true.
And then
I mean, we have to wait till your stuff comes back anyway. We just don't have a lot of shelter.
Yeah.
And I'm being a terrible hostess. I'm so sorry.
That's not true.
Well, I don't have a house for you to stay in anymore.
Remember what you said, something about the heart and home. Heart home.
Home is where the heart is.
Such a good listener, Q.
kidney, lung, heart, home, something like that.
Walmart chick.
But I mean, my family's not really here. It was just a place. Like a place to come back to and shelter and...
Do you know anybody? I mean, it doesn't look like there's anybody very nearby, but the closest person?
My friend, the Dragonborn, whose name I don't know. Who's probably not at the Zaget because...
Yeah, probably not.
Anyone that lives out here, like
No.
a closer neighbor.
No.
Okay.
Just us.
Well, we can't stay here.
But we can't go far because your stuff.
Also, I mean, we can always come back for that, and hopefully they still find it.
Yeah, because, oh man, this is a bummer.
Yeah.
So keep in mind, you have 9 days until the drop-off is supposed to happen. But it could be anywhere up to 14, 15 days before concern even gets there.
Mm-hmm. So we have some time. We could always go somewhere and come back.
Could we go to Kalakesh?
I mean, that's a big walk, but I mean, I guess technically we could. I think it's about a 5 days walk there. Is that about right?
Very well could be.
It's a trip.
It is a trip. But I think if we go around the lake on the edge of the Deadwood, we'll at least hit this place called Lakota, where Raystrom knows somebody too.
Let's do it. Let's go on a trip.
Is this Sierra back?
Yeah, she would be making her way back in.
Okay.
Which is this about a trip?
We might go to Kalakesh.
I know
Or
that's
Lakota.
where you wanted to go next. I mean, I have business there too. There's some places along the way we could stop.
And we could go and we could help you carry the eggs, Asira.
Then
Okay.
maybe we can stop in Lakota and send word to the capital to send our things to Kalakesh instead.
Yeah, probably it'll be harder to find my home now.
Yeah. I don't know. Raystrom, Vox, what do you think?
I mean,
Sending the message to Braska to meet us in a known city would be an easier feat for concern, especially one that is on the map like Kalakesh.
Yeah.
This is very true. Your friend don't seem to be very trusting of this concern.
I trust concern. I don't trust the information we gave him to find this place.
I mean, I thought it was totally clear. How many 41-degree trees are there out there?
I mean, there
And the
probably are
lake
more than you think.
No.
Vox, what do you think? What do you say?
well, I don't know. I mean, definitely. I mean, I feel like if we get the house fixed up, we can be ready for these guys that are showing up. Then, at least Finley will have someplace to live. But I mean, I guess in the off chance, it does take longer than, what is it, 10 days or whatever, they might show up, they might dig everything up. And I mean, it might take them a little while, and yeah, we might be able to get the job on them. So why not? Maybe let this go for a while and let the heat die down, and yeah, let's take it through.
I say two things happen whenever we end up coming back.
Yes.
We either come back and they've dug out your place and taken all the boxes, or they come back, they realize digging out the place was too hard, and we get to keep all the boxes and somehow try to figure out how to rebuild your place.
We can also come back with supplies to do so.
And maybe we could build it bigger so bigger people could fit too. So it's not just me, and not that I stay here all the time, but like if y'all were to come back and needed somewhere to stay, or somebody else, or maybe maybe before we leave we could like dig up a little bit of the dirt and just open one more box, like maybe one of the ones in the back. Like if we walk further.
How about
just one more box?
10 minutes. We dig for 10 minutes. And if we don't get to a box in 10 minutes, we leave.
Okay.
Because that, like,
Richard, come on.
This is just a cycle that we're going to find ourselves in, and we're going to be digging for days. And we
just one box.
I hope you know, Finley.
What?
Q's usually not patient.
Well,
not. That's why I said 10 minutes.
I feel like she may be 10 minutes is a lot more than most get.
Thank you. I just one more box. Just one more. What if it's not wine? I mean, what?
Time is ticking.
Okay, let's go.
Well, let's find out.
I take one of the planks you gave me and I walk like further where blueprint wise my house would have gone in further.
All right. Whoever's digging, go ahead and give me a, you know what? Let's do this as an athletics check.
Okay.
There is a lot of rubble and debris in the way. Let's see how far you get before you tire out.
I will assist Finley.
8. A solid 8.
3.
Ray? Well, actually, so only 2 of you get to do it. So who is my roles that we're going from?
Me.
Yeah, Finley's 1, and then Ray said he was assisting, so Q wouldn't roll.
Oh, okay.
I say Finley rolls at advantage. that's what I was trying to get at.
Right. Okay, so you're saying that. Okay, good.
Yeah,
for you to do that.
I'm helping her clear stuff while she digs.
Great, except Finley, you have a 1 level of exhaustion, so that would be at disadvantage. So you have a regular roll, which was your 8.
Okay.
So unfortunately, you are not able to get very far before you start tiring out.
Okay. I'm sorry. Time. We gotta go.
I know you said time's up. Okay, let's go. Thank you for 10 minutes.
You're welcome.
Thank you for the screen time.
Let's go. We're going to Color Cache. I've never been that way before. Like I've never been that far south, or like that far that way, southeast.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay.
Which direction are we taking?
The southeasterly direction.
Yeah, we're gonna go around the lake, not going into the Deadwood, but staying at the edge of the lake. And then as we get towards the end of the lake and the Deadwood, just kind of going on the edge of the Deadwood down to Lakota.
Okay. Yeah, easily done.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you'd like to do here before you depart?
I'm going to... Yes, but I have to check with you to see where I'm going.
Are you going to visit?
Yes.
You see Finley kind of check out for a moment, and she goes over and she gets one of the boats, and she begins to slowly paddle off to that small jut out of land in the island.
That's not southeast.
No, it's not. And I also said 10 minutes.
Finley, when you get there, there are 3 large stones. And there is a large amount of green brush and debris that kind of has overgrown on top of the stones themselves. These large grasping vines that are just like almost ripping away at the stones. And you spend a little time cutting them down and tearing them apart as you haven't been here in a while. And they begin to overgrow the stones.
I'm going to clear it out and say, I think I'm going on another adventure, but I'll come back. I'll come back and visit. I'll come back to make sure everything's okay. And then once it's all cleared, I'll hop back in the boat and come back to the edge of the lake.
Okay. About 5 minutes later, you see Finley making her way back over.
As Finley's coming back, Q is going to pull Raystrom away where she doesn't think Box will follow. And she's gonna say, you know, we didn't have to go to Kalakash, right?
What do you mean?
I just mean, I mean, you've been very helpful, and I really appreciate that because I really needed it for a while. Pretty much ever since you showed up again. I've really needed that. But I think what I need more than somebody who just kind of always agrees is somebody who's there. You can say no. You can push back a little.
Well,
I'm okay now. I don't need a yes all the time.
Well, from a strategic standpoint, it's mutually beneficial to a large amount of the group.
I know.
But
I'm just saying for other decisions too. I trust you, and I know you're really strong, and I know you're really smart, and I know you're smarter than me. So I trust your opinion, and I trust what you say. So
how much do you trust these other two?
Finley is very nice. Finley is very, very nice.
There doesn't seem to be an ulterior motive there, but
no, not a bad bone. I don't know Vox very well. I feel like he has good intentions. I know he has good intentions. Just feel like I gotta keep an extra eye, be one step ahead.
He definitely seems honorable. I had a conversation in the rift with him when we were keeping watch, but his past is definitely clouded. So I don't know how long you had been traveling with him before we were reunited.
For a little bit, and then I was out resting for a while. So, I mean, I don't know too much about I don't know anything about his past other than some really weird cryptic things that he says just out of the blue that make zero sense.
Well, there's nothing wrong with like weird cryptic stuff every now and then.
I agree. However, I mean, it's like usually during like weird times when like we're trying to run away from mind flayers and like we don't have time for follow-up questions, and it's like, dude, save it for a dinner party. Like, I trust them.
Okay. Well, if you trust them, I trust them. If they kept you safe for our coming back together.
Yeah.
They should be good.
I agree.
All right. Finley, you make your way back over to the group and you begin to prepare heading south, following this lake line. As you travel, whoever is leading, go ahead and roll me a d20. Or whoever you want to roll the d20.
What?
Since I'm kind of
Yeah.
familiar with the area, can I?
So yeah, I have a ranger do that.
Like I
And I
haven't been all the way to Kalakesh, but I know the area around the lake and the desert.
So
And
yeah,
but can I also say that I'm assisting her by showing her the map and showing her the places that we have been before?
yes, you can. I'm actually not making you roll for your survival because you know this area, so I'm giving it to you. I still need you to roll a d20 though.
I'm not rolling that one right now.
I'll roll it.
3.
3.
It's just one of those days.
Get him out of the way. Get him out of the way.
You get most of the travel done with nothing in your way. As you start getting closer to the thicker parts of the wood, you still haven't got into the deadwood itself, but you are noticing the zaget on the left of you is beginning to lower, and you know you're getting closer to where it melds into the deadwood itself. Still following the lake line, you get a little tired and begin looking for a place to kind of camp down for a little bit of a break. And you run into a small sunken-in basin that sits right next to a curvature in the land. It is filled with dead animal carcass, various picked to the bone with very little blood and gore residue still on it. However, the bones themselves have been dismantled from each other and torn with the ligaments hanging off. And there are placed in very particular patterns in the basin.
Are they like separated in the basin almost?
Yeah.
The whites from the colors.
Dark meat, light meat.
Yeah.
This isn't your usual eating pit.
Is this normal?
No. Can I use my
This doesn't look healthy at all.
Can I use my awareness to see if there's anything within a mile of us?
Your primeval awareness?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
You're not picking up anything big. Go ahead and read your list again. I believe it's nothing you'd pick up.
So it just has right now. It just has the generic list.
Okay.
Aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead present within 1 mile of me.
Nothing is blipping in.
Okay.
However, you do notice that the storm itself is beginning to pick up a little bit.
Sierra, is this usual for this area? I don't know.
Why are you asking me? I don't live here.
Well, I don't know how often you venture outside the Zaget and the perimeter areas.
Nobody leaves the Zaget.
Well, not nobody.
Nobody since Artilher. Well, or her. Or I don't know how many people have ever left the Zaget, but it's not common.
It's not common.
I've seen quite a few Dragonborn in my lifetime.
You have? Where?
Sakara. There was
Sakara.
Nada. I mean, there was
Yeah,
countless.
there were Dragonborn in the capital. There was Dragonborn in the Badoon.
Well, I have not left the Zaget. You
No.
know
Okay.
more than I do.
You haven't left, so yeah, it's just
Sorry.
Is to anybody else, does this look like a trough, like what everything, everybody was just eating? Because right now, this kind of feels like a circle, like a sacrificial thing. That's what it feels like to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Finley, you're not familiar with goblins or anything in the area? Are there?
Hang on, because I can't find it there, so I'm going to find it where I wrote it down on my piece of paper. But I didn't write that part down on my piece of paper. I don't know where to find it.
Raystrom will see if he can identify the bones.
Go ahead and do a nature check.
Ha ha ha. No goblins.
That would be a 5.
Larger creatures?
Yes. Those some bones. They used to be inside something.
Thanks. Well, before we become bones that used to be inside something, I think we should move
Keep
along.
moving. Good idea. Let's keep going. And find better shelter because the storm is getting worse.
Just so you guys are aware, in order to find shelter, we will probably need to go inside the Deadwood, and the Deadwood has some very specific rules.
Like?
You don't kill anything, don't attack anything, and be very aware of your surroundings. And a lot of the things that you hear may not actually be things that you are really hearing.
Well, I mean, you hear them.
You are physically and physiologically hearing them, but what you're hearing is not what you think you're hearing.
Right. It's totally fine.
So you know the Deadwood?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I mean,
Do
not like super
attack
well, but...
anything. And if you see like a tribe of Vegapygmies, they're probably not going to attack you. They probably just want you to heal them.
Of course they're not going to
Also,
attack
if you need to make a compass, you need a magnet.
What kind of
of course.
experiences have you had, Q? Goodness sake.
All of those things. So if we're going to find shelter, we should probably go into the Deadwood, but we should also, if we try to leave some tracks, it's going to get erased. So just be very aware of where we're going. Okay.
So you can definitely make it to the Deadwood by the end of the day if you are pushing on. But any further into the wood itself, you're going to have to travel without taking a rest.
Can we make it just to the edge of the inside of the Deadwood?
Probably.
That way we have some shelter, but not going all the way in.
The outskirts seems like a safe place to spend
Suburbia.
the night.
All right. So as you push forward, I need another D20 roll from one of you, please.
Someone else should roll the D20s right now. Just saying.
One. Just for fun. Here we go. 13.
Yep. As you begin making your way, the rain itself is very, very heavy. You start getting closer to the tree line itself that's getting very, very dense, and you see up in the distance a rather, it's not super large, but there is a fire that is placed underneath a gazebo-like hut that is kind of glowing in the distance near the lake edge, but towards the outline tree line of the Deadwood.
Is this something familiar to me?
No.
Also, I know it's because you're telling the story, so we haven't heard from Asira in a while. Did we pick up the eggs to come with us?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That's all. It just dawned on me.
Go back.
We love the eggs.
We gotta go back to
But
Lakota.
I'm tired.
Wasn't taken out.
Do we, I mean, somebody's got a fire. Is it somebody friendly? Is it someone not friendly? What do you think?
I don't know. I mean,
Only one way to find out.
only one to find out.
Use your friend arrow and shoot them in the head.
No.
We call that the Cupid's bow.
My guess is that if there's a bunch of bones right over here, and they were filling up Finley's house with bootleg stuff, probably my guess would be bad guys, because if they've got a big fire, they've probably got a bunch of people, and
But it could be good people. It could be a bunch of good people.
that's one of those risks I don't think I'm willing to take.
Do you think they could tell if we like camp over here?
Would you like to go check it out, Q? I'll make you invisible, and you can.
Well, that doesn't exactly scream I'm friendly.
Well, like, don't jump out and scare them, but just to
Do some scouting.
get a lay of the land and number wise, you know, the group over there.
Sure. Yeah. I guess that's a smart thing to do. I'll just go see how many people there are, and then come back.
You know, though, Q, it's a forest, and I'm pretty good at forests. Maybe I should go check.
Okay. Yeah.
So I want to go check and see if I am alerted to danger, or how many people are at this fire and how big they are.
Are you using a special feature of your class?
I sure am. I am being a natural explorer.
Okay,
Hey,
so with your natural explorer feat, your favorite terrains are,
Mountain and forest.
so you'd be able to get through pretty fast on this. So go ahead and roll me a stealth check
Okay.
at advantage.
God. Add advantage.
So it'd be neutral because you're still exhausted. So one roll.
I was having a hard time picking which dice to roll. They've both been so awful. 11.
Okay.
It's not one.
Yeah. So you kind of sneak over and hustle from like bush to bush, tree to tree. And then you get pretty close and you see the fire glowing. There is one individual who is seated in a small little stool. And there is a kind of easel-like device in front of him with he's madly painting at this canvas, kind of thrashing away at it. And you see him just in a like very fevered expression as he's going to town. And as the light flashes, he looks over at you and you see these large goblin eyes and these two big pointed ears. And then he kind of sees you and he starts like putting all of his supplies away, packing up.
No. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm here with my friends and we weren't sure if you were good or bad. And you're painting and I'm so sorry.
Please don't tell your friends. I'm leaving. I'm going back and I just had to be here. I'm going.
No,
going.
it's okay.
No, it's okay. This is your place. This is your land. I don't want to meet your friends. You stay here.
But
I'm
it's
gonna
not my land. What are you painting?
I'm just the scenery, the view, but it's dark and the light, and
But you were doing
I'm
so
gonna go.
well.
I'm gonna
But
go.
you were doing so well. You can't be scared of me. I'm so small.
I'm small.
It's fine. We're both small.
We're both small. We're both small. We're fine. We're
So
fine.
nice to be around someone small.
Yeah, that's good. But you be over there and I'll be over here. Bye. You see him like picks up his sack and grabs this canister that has lots of bottles of paint.
Before you go, you're not in trouble. I'm sorry. I'm just a little like energetic. I don't know. But there was like kind of a hole back there with like bones, a bunch of things.
I didn't do it.
Okay, I'm not saying you are. I just want to know if you know who did do it, because that's scary.
No. I don't. That wouldn't be me. I don't hang out with those kind of people. We don't do things like that. I don't know. I can't do that.
Okay, that's okay. I'll let you go. I'll go back to my friends. It was great meeting you. I hope you have a lovely evening. Bye.
Bye. And you see him kind of scamper off into the woods.
Okay, I'll go back to my friends.
Q, Vox, you trust the intel Philly's gonna come back with?
for being one that has made her home in the bowels of nature, she doesn't seem to take a subtle approach to things.
She's definitely a go-getter. I mean, that's to be something.
She really wanted to go check. And I remember when we were in the Zagat, she wanted to go. She wanted to go do the eggs, and I said no. So
it's hard to say no to her. Like,
I know she's just so nice.
It's not the best strategy sometimes, but she's just.
She was just so
enthusiastic.
excited.
I know.
And I come skipping back.
Stealthily.
Fox is just like kind of looking like, how do you have the energy for that? He's just like he's getting tired looking at that. Just,
I never got that tea or coffee I was promised this morning.
So we might have a fire now. I didn't mean to, but it was a goblin, and I startled him, and he was just very like super nervous and high strung, and he ran away. But he was painting.
You think he was nervous and high strung?
Yeah, he was a mess. He was so scared of me. And I asked him about that pit of bones. And he said, no, that's not me. But he was way more like skittish about it. And he doesn't hang out with those people. But we could have
Wait, which people?
The people who would do stuff like that.
So he knows the people who did that.
I think he just meant like the type of people.
Okay.
Like bad.
I think we know those type of people.
Yeah, type. I mean, I don't want to make assumptions.
We all know a guy.
Yes.
Okay, well, let's go sit by the fire then.
You should make your way over to the, I mean, it's a decent sized little pergola kind of hut, and it does provide you some shelter from the rain. The fire is going.
This is nice. I feel so bad I chased him away. I didn't mean to chase him away. He just,
Well, I mean, it happens. When you sneak, you're scary.
I mean, but we were the same. We're both little. We bonded over that. But then he was just very nervous, and maybe he was embarrassed that he was painting. Do you think that's it? Do goblins paint?
Well, I wouldn't put any restrictions on any one type of person, what they can and can't do.
I really wanted to see his painting because maybe it was really good, but he just took off.
Are the goblins like just? So he was painting, like he had paints and like he had like a brush and like, you know, like,
and like like the thing you paint on and like the mechanical, not the mechanical thing, but the structure that you put the thing that you put the paint on.
An easel?
Bless you.
He was just going to sit back and like just watch the conversation and just like laugh to herself the whole time.
Is that what it's called? Okay, and what?
An easel.
An easel.
Correct.
And what's the thing you put on the easel that you put the paint on?
It'd be your canvas in most cases.
What would it be in some cases?
Well, it's a canvas is a broad term. You could be painting on paper or leather or tapestry.
Why would you paint on a tapestry?
To make it more ornate.
I feel like
he was painting. Look, the last goblin I saw was named Three Finger Joe, and somebody threw him out a window, literally from that tavern, across the street into the window of the next tavern. And I something about playing cards and didn't pay, and he threw him in the other one, you know, other tavern, and he just picked up another card game going on, you know, next tavern.
Okay, well, like Hugh said, you can't just assume what type of person the goblin would be. Maybe some goblins are gamblers and some are artists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Italy, do you speak goblin?
No.
So he was talking to you in common?
Or undercommon. I get the two of them mixed up sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Asira kind of steps forward and she's like, well, at least he left us food. And she reaches down and she grabs at a like a little fruit pile and grabs an apple and sits down and starts eating.
Oh no, what if that was his dinner and he was so nervous he forgot to take it with him? He's going to be so hungry. He didn't want to...
he shouldn't have left so quickly. Asira, give me one of those. I'm tired.
Okay.
She kind of picks up the white tray and hands it over to you, and you grab some of the fruit.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you he wasn't painting the fruit. He specifically mentioned the scenery, but then he mentioned the light. So maybe it wasn't light enough to paint anymore, but he had the fire. I've never painted. I've never like wanted to paint, except like with my fingers in mud.
Q, you said your passive AC is 18.
Yeah.
You notice that the plate that she's handing you, it is a burgundy-ish, not burgundy-ish, tannish canvas affixed into a small. It looks like a plate because of the coloration. However, it is a cloth canvas that she's handing you the food on.
Huh. Speaking of canvases, convey.
Advice.
Convey.
Some candy.
I mean, it looks like we have a goblin original.
I want to see.
Interesting.
As I kind of hand out the fruit until there's nothing left, I show.
May I?
We're all looking. Okay, you can go first.
So as you pull off the fruit, underneath is a blank canvas.
Oh.
But there is a small, on the other side, you flip it over, there is a small, it's very wet kind of residue on the backing, but there's no coloration.
Can I hold that for a second, Q?
Yes.
And I like to sort of feel around the outside, like I'm gonna cast identify the object as I'm sort of feeling around on it.
It is a canvas.
It's still wet. You should let it dry. I don't think it's a very good painting, but it's not of anything.
Creativity is hard.
I mean, that wasn't very nice of me to say. I'm sorry. Sorry. That wasn't nice.
Q's gonna kind of look at like what is wet on her hands to see like if like she smells anything or notices anything.
Yeah. You kind of lift and you do a smell. What would this be? That is a conundrum.
A smell check.
Do an intelligence check.
Okay. Yes. Smell check. Intelligence?
Yeah.
11.
No.
It's like the third 11 today.
It has a 11. It's not hard to notice. It has an acrylic kind of smell to it. That heavy, pungent paint smell to it. I mean, it's.
But it's clear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna wipe my finger like on the canvas to try to get it off.
Stop! What if it's a secret message?
Well, I mean, don't want it on my hand.
Hold it up by the fire.
And paint goes on a canvas, so.
What if it's a secret message? Or like, what if you have to?
It's not a secret message. Look. And I'm gonna hold it up to the fire and say, "Look."
Vox is gonna use minor illusion to make it look like the egg that he had pointed out from the other day. It was just like, you should totally get that. So he just kind of makes it look like it's like very like poorly painted like watercolor egg on the canvas.
It is a hidden
she was holding
message.
it out like that, right?
I'm holding it over the like against the fire.
You hold it over the fire, and as Vox do a sleight of hand check as we check how sneakily you get this fast.
16, not bad.
Yeah.
Apart from Q, who sees you kind of fiddling in the corner, there is a shifting of dripping color that kind of it blends into a watercolor resemblance of the eggs that you're carrying.
Oh no, how did he know? It is a secret message. What do we do?
A secret message from who, Finley?
Voxel will and like reach for it, and as soon as he kind of like reaches for it, he's gonna like drop it and look at it and just look at the blank canvas and be like, she's starting to lose her mind. You okay there?
I am not.
Vox is not very nice to literally the nicest person I've ever met.
What?
Are we playing a game?
No.
No.
He's going to hand the canvas back to Finley.
Okay,
Anyway.
so it's not a secret message.
I don't think so. Vox, may I? And I hold it over the fire. At least I have it off my hands. It's highly flammable.
You would be amazed at how many like
You
how
now
many
have
things are
lead
extremely
poisoning.
Yeah.
combustible. But you can, but you do
Well,
have
I
glow in the dark
kind of want
splatters.
to. I kind of want to leave it here in case.
In case he comes back.
Yeah, I mean,
We've already eaten all of his food.
yeah.
Finley, can't you like track people? Can't you just like?
I
you know,
mean,
like
I could track him, but do we want to track him?
I
well,
think we want to sleep by a fire.
I mean, he was so scared.
what? I mean, look. So every goblin I've ever known has been, fantastic at stabbing people really quick and mostly lying to you. So the fact that he was scared, because at least every goblin I've dealt with has always been really mean and like, just like someone pissed in their like oatmeal or something. But
Ew.
he was scared. Oh, it's a goblin thing. But yeah, a scared goblin painting, like that's just,
I mean, he was painting.
yeah, I mean, I see that there's a canvas here, but that just doesn't make sense. What I'm more concerned about is that you said he was familiar with those holes and doesn't associate. Is that correct? Doesn't. So
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't hang out with that kind of person.
if we find him, he might be able to help us avoid anything bigger and more teeth.
Unless he doesn't want to and runs away again.
I'll have a talk with him. You find him, I'll talk to him.
Can we do it in the morning?
Yes.
Okay. I'm tired.
Yeah, because I was about to say, if you guys want to do that, that's great. I'm tired. I know what it's like to be tired, and I don't like it.
All right, you'll head into bed then.
Yes.
Mhm.
All right, as you now have shelter and a warm fire, you do not need to roll for your constitution. With the night sleep, you will get your long rest and remove 1 level of exhaustion. However, I need to know who's doing first watch.
Vox will start with the first watch.
All right, Vox, would you go ahead and make me your perception check?
Perception. Oh, it's an 8.
Nothing out of the ordinary. Seems clear. Who's taking second?
I'll take second.
All right, so both Q and Finley.
Mhm.
Right, go ahead and roll your perceptions. Raystrom takes the hard sleep.
And can I remain alert to danger in my natural explorer feat?
It naturally will happen. You still have to roll your perception check though.
Okay.
19.
We get it. You're playing to your strengths.
I'm trying so hard to learn it all.
No, you're doing it honestly. You're doing it.
Perception.
The warlock is just grumpy because he got crushed by a tree.
15.
15 and Q, what did you say?
19.
19, yeah. There are various movements of nighttime, just animal life. Nothing that seems out of the ordinary. You see like a family of boar kind of run through real quickly and shuffle in a direction. There are some predatory birds that are out hunting. You hear them kind of call every now and then, but apart from that, nothing seems to be out of the ordinary.
As we're watching, Q's gonna tell Finley, I believe you about the goblin, that he seemed fine.
Thanks. I mean,
Yeah.
I try to look on the bright side of everything, and he was so genuinely startled. I mean, I didn't even think to check to see if he wasn't genuinely startled. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wasn't suspicious, or I didn't feel like he had any ulterior motives, but I also didn't stop and check. We just kind of chatted while I tried to reassure him that I wasn't going to hurt him.
And I think that's good. Not a lot of, well, where I come from or how I grew up, a lot of the authority didn't like certain kinds of people. So they were always kind of judged just because of what they were, who they were. So
like I did to Raystrom.
Kind of.
Yeah, that wasn't very nice.
But you know what you did? You put in the work and it seems better now.
Yeah.
Moral of the episode.
I mean, I think my parents would be proud that it turned out that way.
I didn't know your parents, but I would like to believe the same thing.
They were lovely. I'm sorry that your childhood was like that.
No, I mean, my childhood wasn't. Well, I mean, I'm an elf. I'm a full elf, but my parents were half elves. So I saw like how they were treated. Adopted.
Oh, okay. Because
Yeah.
I'm not great at math, but I'm decent at math, and I know.
Yeah, the little genetics table just didn't line up.
One half of an apple plus one half of an apple equals a whole apple, but it's not
a
the
pear.
same whole apple. Yeah.
Yeah. So I saw how they were treated, and so yeah, and a lot of the work that we've done for a long time has been trying to make things a little better. So I believe you about the goblin. A little bit in Kalikesh, a little bit in the Zaget, trying to. Well, that was the plan.
You had been to the Zaget before.
Yeah. It was
that
was a wild ride. And I tell Finley the whole story about the mystery and the finding the clues and the trial and the pit and all of that.
That's like a storybook tale or a fairy tale or a
right? It should be in a book.
It should be a real story. I mean, it is a real story, but yeah, it should be. Oh my gosh.
Just have to find somebody to write it.
Whoa. If y'all done that, what else have y'all done?
Not enough time in this watch.
But you were at the Zaget. Things aren't even perfect there.
No, far from it.
I'm sorry about your friend Kelnis.
Thank you. I feel okay.
It gets better.
Does it? They don't leave though, right?
What do you mean?
Like, you don't forget.
No.
Okay. That's good. I don't want to forget.
They're always with you somehow. And
I like that.
You're going to be less than pleased, but they're always in your heart in some form or fashion.
Friends who get along with
you in the hearts.
As you bunker down and finish out the rest of your watch, daytime does begin to peek over the horizon and you wake the others. And that's where we're going to go ahead and take our break. So stretch your legs, get yourself a drink, and then get ready to roll another D20.
Oh, no.
All right, let's jump back into it. As you wake, you've had 1 day of travel in Q's planned 5-day vacation. So we're on our
to the luxurious resorts in Kalikesh.
I never said it was a resort.
All right, second day of travel. I need whoever is leading or whoever's going to make this roll me a D20.
I got it.
That's good.
Thanks.
A natural 20.
Ooh.
Hey.
Very nice.
All right.
Thank you for wasting that.
Can you also roll me a d6, please?
Ooh, I can do that. A 2, a 1, a 2.
All right. You have some more rolls to do, so just give me a second.
Oh goodness.
Oh God.
I gotta pull up some stuff.
Oh,
Two.
God.
I the 2.
The one time you get a natural 20.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, because like a couple episodes, he had 3
I
like,
know.
all in the first 30 minutes.
Yeah,
In
y'all,
combat, that's nice.
y'all did what y'all had to do. I think y'all are good. Y'all can chill out.
Excuse me.
All right, I need you to roll me a d100.
Holy crap. Ooh, who should I use? Be good to me. Be good to me. 79. I think I just won the game, guys.
I don't know. Michael's face doesn't look like that. That was not that
That's what
kind
the
of look.
DM. The DM won tonight.
You obviously were
79?
not looking at him.
Yes, I rolled a 70 and then a 9. So yeah, I think it's 79.
All righty. Okay.
A little too much pep in there.
Put that smile away.
So as you're traveling, the day seems to calm down. The rain does die away. You also have the coverage of the trees as you enter into the deadwoods. And as you're walking Raystrom, your foot catches this obstruction on the ground and you fall forward, catching yourself prone. And as you look back, you have kicked up the edge of a wooden box that has been buried partially within the ground, but the water has loosened some of the dirt around it and it begins to kind of sift to the side and you see just a corner poking up.
Raystrom, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm usually much more dexterous, but it wasn't my fault. I think there's don't get too excited, Finley. Like, I think there may be buried treasure here.
Open it! Open it! Open it!
Well,
Hold on.
there.
How big is this box? Is it like a little bit or is it like a
It doesn't matter. It's a box.
There's at least a quarter.
It matters like a tiny bit just because it could be something
Bad.
not exciting or
Not treasure.
exciting in a bad way.
Right.
Let's just make sure before we try to like move it.
How do you make sure without opening
mage hand wiggle it?
It's stuck in the ground pretty solidly, so it doesn't
Yeah,
wiggle.
we'll need to do some digging. You got another badger in you, Voxel?
No,
That was bad. That was
no
bad. Do
badgers.
that again. Too soon. That was my home.
I wanna check like near the box to see if I see any markings or hear anything from the box.
Yeah.
And while Q's doing that, I'm trying to like sneakily push the dirt aside with my foot. Like and push.
Okay, Q, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
22.
22?
Yes.
Nothing. It sounds quiet and nothing seems out of sorts, except for the shuffling of a foot next to you of Finley scraping at the edge of the box.
You know what, Finley?
Dirt
I think you
aside.
can open it.
Okay, but we have to unbury it first.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna get down on my hands and knees and help Finley dig.
I'm so sorry it's so muddy,
Same.
but this is so exciting.
Right. It doesn't take you long to dig, as it is. I mean, it's pretty small. You could hold it in your hands. It is a small box that has a little lid that just flings up on a hinge. As you open it, inside, it almost looks like a bell, like a very simple metallic looking bell that hangs from a leather tassel, like a keychain. Except it has a crudely drawn face that really resembles Ver. I mean, it has the same kind of over animated expression, except this one has the mouth tensed and curved and the eyes are shut. And then there is a nose that has an outlining perimeter to it.
Wait. We shouldn't touch it unless it's safe. Right, Q?
That's pretty good standard rule across the board. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Give
yeah.
me a second. Holding the box, I'm gonna cast identify on the object.
Okay, so you cast Identify. You do get a swarm of information back into your brain. It's not the bell that is causing it, it's something inside of the bell. And as you see the glow around the perimeter of where that nose is, you grab the nostrils of the nose and you actually pull the nose piece off, and it is a container. Inside is a red dust. This is a dust of sneezing and choking. So you have one use of it. When you use an action to throw this handful of dust into the air, you and each creature that needs to breathe within 30 feet of you must succeed on DC 15 Constitution saving throw, or you become unable to breathe because you start uncontrollably sneezing. The dust of sneezing and choking. That's what a natural 20 gets you.
Y'all are welcome.
You know what your description gives you? It's like an angry condom.
It's not too far off. That's
You forgot the tassel cue. Needs a little tassel.
A little tassel. I mean, it's pretty much what it is. With a removable nose. Mr. Potato Nose, and inside is the dust.
Does the bell function as a bell?
No, it has no ringer, and it's just a container. It's a block.
Oh, okay. Well, this
I mean, that's
interesting.
It's not like buried treasure, but it's useful.
I mean, I explained to them what it is. Like, yeah, I don't think we should use this inside anywhere. Well, especially if we're in there.
Well, tell you what, since your foot found it, I think you should keep it.
Finders keepers. I love that.
For most things, it works pretty well.
An odd find, but you can continue moving along your way, and nothing seems to impede your traffic as you do begin to make it into the Deadwood itself. Remember that the Deadwood is not like the canopy. You can easily see through the sky, but the trees themselves are much older, and you begin to wander aimlessly. Finley, you've traveled the Deadwood before, so you're not too unfamiliar with this area, but now we're going to have to start making those rolls.
Okay.
So would you give me a survival check, please?
Yes.
You have advantage because you're in your forest area.
19.
All right. I need another D20.
I guess it's my turn.
Just nat it up.
5.
As you begin traveling.
Wait, how far? Why are we traveling through?
You find a Nuva ring.
As you begin traveling, feeling very confident that Finley is leading you around the Zaget itself, you do stumble in. About 2 or 3 hours in, you hear the loud tossing of a wheeled cart that is just like, it has like a hitch in it, so it's not catching the ground every time evenly, and you just hear it slowly churning away. Eventually, yep, go ahead.
There's someone there. And I tell them what I hear. It could be someone good, or it could be someone bad.
Sounds like someone we could barter a new wheel with.
Do we need a wheel? Do
Yeah.
we have a wheel?
Well, no, for them. Like, I could probably fix their wheel and.
Oh, I was going to say, we don't have a wheel.
We don't want a broken one. I mean, we could go help them. Can I sneak a little closer by myself to get more information about the wagon and who?
Sure. Roll me a stealth check. Take 2. You're at advantage this time.
20, not nat.
You feel very confident. You've learned from your mistake. You're in gonna just carefully get to one position and wait. As you look over, there is a large wooden cart with pieces of chopped up lumber, about 6 or 7 feet in length, that are laid across it, and it is being dragged by a large oxen creature. And on top of it sits another goblin figure that they're slowly pulling this wooded cart and carrying them. Not in your direction, a little more towards the east, or towards the west, but they are passing close by.
I go back and I tell everybody. But it's not the same. It's not the painter goblin. But maybe there are goblins that like have made their home here.
Maybe. You can probably just keep going and not disturb them.
I like that plan.
Did there seem to be anything of value in the wagon?
Lots of wood, lots of firewood, lots of sticks.
We could use some lumber for your house.
Oh, but it's so far away. We're not going to carry it all the way to Kalakesh and then carry it all the way back to my house.
Well, no. Like I was saying, like we could possibly fix his wheel and see if he would deliver some lumber to your domicile. It's called a barter.
What's a domicile?
It's a home. It's a home.
But who calls it that?
It's like an abode.
Dragonborn called them that.
Don't houses need names? Could I name my next house that?
So yours actually has a name already.
But it's buried. It does have a name. But
It is. The old name was inscribed around the fire pit. It is known as Knackle's Nook.
It's pretty catchy. It's hard to beat that. I mean, it will come back this way so we can maybe catch them again. But I don't think it's super important right now.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right.
Okay.
Pushing on.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Give me another survival check. Actually, your survival check got you through the day. I need another D20.
I just went.
Okay,
Someone rolled?
I've got it.
Okay.
12.
Hold on. Vox, did you roll?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
4.
4.
I'm gonna switch dice because this is ridiculous.
It's an even smaller box.
So
With an even smaller condom.
the goblin size.
Joke's on you. Oh,
It's a no condom.
As you begin moving further on throughout the day, you are starting to get weary, and nighttime does start to fall, and you begin to make your camp as you notice it begins to get frigidly cold. The rain never stopped. However, you've had coverage for a while from the trees themselves, and you start to see these small little slivers of sleet begin to fall through and drip from the leaves up above.
man, got snow in real life. Got snow in game.
I didn't roll it. I didn't roll it.
Yeah, roll better, Vox. and you
Roll
get-
power outage.
No, it wasn't me. It was you. It wasn't me.
Not an HEB to be found.
No.
Not that it matters. They're doing their best.
They're doing great.
They're doing great.
I'm sticking with what I said. They can be the next ruler of the world for all I care. They're doing a great job.
Q wants to look around to see if there's any like blankets of moss
Okay.
and see if she can like grab some to like put over her as it's like, because we said this is like where we're trying to like sleep, right?
It's up to
At
you.
the end, well, you said it's the end of the day, correct? Okay.
So we do need to find a place.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's a forest area. There's plenty of moss around. Not coming off in like sheets of, I have a cartoon character full on sheet of moss.
Moss blanket.
Got us bunkering down?
Guess so.
It's either that or we just keep on going.
How
feel like
how
we're
far
gonna
do you think we are from
tire you
Lakota?
away.
I don't know.
I don't think we should risk it. I think we should stay put.
Okay.
Okay.
Should we start a fire?
Is it gonna stay?
We can try.
Okay.
Let's see what we got.
We have wet wood.
Because we should not burn any of the trees here.
I cast fire. That's the whole forest went. I guess yeah, boxes. Try to start rounding up some just sticks and just anything that seems like it's still dry or untouched by sleep. Good luck. I do have a tinder box, so
Okay.
we could at least get a flame going there.
So you start yourself a fire. You got yourself a little bit of warmth, and you sit down to your camp as you have completed your second day of travel.
Ooh.
Is anybody taking watch?
I will.
I'll take first watch.
All right.
Or well, actually, seeing that Finley's got it, Q's gonna rest
All right, Finley, give me a roll.
because she's starting to trust her.
Perception, right?
Yep.
19.
Nice.
There's a moment about 2 hours into your watch where you step away from your post and go wandering the outskirts, trailing a few sounds of animals you hear just to see what is present. And as you push further in a little bit, there is an alcove of a few trees that are kind of melded together and formed almost like a small semi-dome shape. And underneath it, there is a family of bears that are living close by. You kind of watch them for a little bit as a small younger bear kind of curls up into a larger one and kind of lowers down to go to rest. You spend a little bit of time kind of watching them having fun, and then you look over to the more southern portion of the woods, and you see low to the ground these very small wood-like nymph creatures that are moving in 4s or 5s and kind of scuttling along the pathways from tree to tree. And then they're not there. You make your way back to the campsite and finish your rest. Who are you waking up? Who's
Fox
taking?
will go
Next.
next. Yeah,
Okay.
Fox will go next.
Fox. There's a
So-
family of bears that way.
Oh.
They're
Nice.
sleeping. They're sleeping.
Okay,
But just a heads up.
that's a good plan. Anything else? All good. Okay, bears.
All good.
Freezing cold
Just-
temperatures.
Natural, deadwood creatures. Nothing to be worried about.
Yeah, just wood games.
All right, Vox, as you take your post, go ahead and roll me a perception.
16.
Not a lot sticks out. You do see a few of those small, well, no, she never told you about it. So you see these small little creatures, short in size, less than 2 feet, that begin scurrying around some of the woodwork. And then occasionally you think you see at a larger tree across from you, this nymph-like wooden head that just kind of pops out of the tree itself, looks in your direction, kind of twists, and then dips back in and goes back into the tree.
Fox is definitely not loving this place. But he'll power through.
And then you hear a voice, whispered but a voice that is conversing with somebody else, maybe about 30-ish feet.
I'm going to cast invisibility.
Okay. Your body goes invisible.
I'm going to try to get a little bit closer, see if I can hear anything else.
As you make
Maybe
your way
like-
there, go ahead and roll a stealth check at advantage.
Thank goodness. It was a 4 and a 10. Or 6 out of 10.
You
Okay.
begin walking your way forward, and as you approach where you hear the voice now speaking, there's two voices coming through. You hear the snap of a twig underneath your foot. And as you pause, nobody seems to react. And you peek over the edge of the large tree that you were standing behind, and there's nobody present. But there is a large clump of black rock sitting on the ground.
Get a little closer.
As you approach the rock itself, it has an onyx-like look to it, but very, very liquid kind of shimmer that comes off of it. And as you get closer, you hear the voices are coming from the rock. One is a lighter male timbre that is pleading and begging for forgiveness. And then you hear another one that almost sounds like someone talking underwater, gurgling and struggling to speak. But there's an anger behind it.
Vox is going to think back to when he didn't listen to Kelmus about hopping into the mirror, and he's thinking about all of his like jumping into stuff a little too soon, thinking about destroying Finley's house, and then he's just gonna kind of like roll back to what Q said, saying the two rules: don't attack anything, and stuff may not always be what it seems. So Vox, still invisible, is going to like start backing away and getting closer to the campsite, and he's going to open his book and see if he can find any sort of correlation between that and bottle of booze and voices.
You make it back to your campsite easily enough, and you sit down and summon your book. Go ahead and roll me an Arcana check.
16.
There's lots of references to items that speak or talk, some that are deemed possessed, others that are holding containers of various entities, similar to the necklace. This doesn't seem anything along those lines. However, it's conveying messages much in the same way that you saw the stone that was taken off of Kelnis's body conveyed message.
Vox will alert the next person who wakes up, which I'm assuming is probably going to be Q.
Right.
So far it seems like it's pretty good, but there's something down there.
What is it?
I don't know.
Did you attack something?
No.
Okay. Did you turn into something?
I did turn invisible.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
I
What
went to go
happened?
look at it. So I heard people talking, and I snuck up, and of course
Is it the
opened the door
birds?
because it was no. So I
Okay.
hear talking like, and it's it's just like people chattering or whatever. And so like I'm just trying to see. I'm thinking maybe it's like the goblins or whatever. And I stepped on a twig. Look, these boots are old. They're muddy. Whatever. And they hear me, and they stop. And I see this like big like lump of like rock or whatever. It's like a putty, and people were screaming it. And I thought about what you said, and you said that things are not what it seems like
Mm-hmm.
after the whole thing with Kelvin's house or Finley's house. But trying my best not to go poking around when I really want to. But maybe that's one of those things that we don't do unless it's like all of us, because this place is creeping me out like crazy. I don't like it at all.
The rock is fine. The rock is fine. The last time I was here and I show him my hand and he sees a scar, I'm like, the last time I was here, the Deadwood is it's a very particular place. The things that live here, they all kind of follow certain rules, and we're not part of the Deadwood. So when we come into the Deadwood, we have to kind of make sure that they know that we're safe. I didn't do that. I mean, the last time we were here, we attacked some things. So I kind of had to pay a price and make the Deadwood know that I was not a threat. And then at the same time, it was kind of like a weird like relationship building, bonding moment between me and somebody else. And then it didn't work out really well. But yeah, the rock is fine. What it does is you hear something that's already been said. So, but it's fine. It won't do anything.
Sure. Well, it's over there. Bear's over there. I'm gonna go lay down, and seriously, like something goes down, just kick me and just be like, "Hey, I don't like this place. I'm gonna get out
I mean,
here."
I'll probably gently wake you instead of kick you.
Yeah.
If you would rather I kick you, I can do that.
I mean, depends on how hard I'm sleeping. I'm cold. I'm
Okay.
tired. All
I'll
right.
keep
Well,
that in mind. So kick first or gently wake first? I just want to know, like,
yeah, maybe start with a kick. And yeah. And
all right, start
Start
with a kick.
with a kick.
gotta start with a kick.
All right, so you took a short watch. That means you have one more. Q.
Perception check?
Yep.
13.
Everything seems to be just as he said. You kind of scout around a little bit. You do get curious after a while and check on that rock. This seems to be the same place where you performed the ritual with Tiana, which you know would mean you were very close to the southern gate of the Zaget.
Yep.
But you make your way back to camp.
Mhm.
And eventually the rest of you rise for your third day of travel.
Anything exciting? I found bears, like a whole family of them.
Fox found a talking rock.
I won't talk about it.
But I know where we are, and it just means that we're pretty close to the south part of the Zaget. So
We should be
we're
careful.
on the right track.
You would know that it was about a little over a day to get here last time, because it was a day to get to the Deadwoods, a day to get in, and then you all got separated.
Yeah.
But you also need to make your choice now of where you're anticipating going. If you want to head along the northern part of the Deadwood and reach to Lakota, you can start veering off to the northwest or northeast. And if you're making your way to Kalakesh, you want to begin going southeast.
Finley's fine either way.
If we go to Lakota, we can send a message sooner to Braska. But other than that, Raystrom, is there anything in Lakota you need to do? Or is anyone you need to talk to?
I mean, we could say hi to Marietta, restock on some supplies, rations, water.
I guess
maybe.
that's true.
Yeah.
Asira, is that okay with you if we stop in Lakota before Kalakesh, or do you need to get to Kalakesh ASAP?
I mean, we don't have to travel together.
Okay.
Perhaps I will travel with you a little while longer.
Just so we could help you carry the eggs?
There's safety in numbers.
This is true.
Okay. All right, then. I guess to Lakota.
All right.
Send a message and stock up before Kalakesh.
I've never been to Lakota.
It's not.
I'm gonna let you go first.
Q's had a couple of experiences.
Oh my god, the amount of stories and secrets. So as we start walking, I'm gonna tell Finley what happened in Lakota.
Whoa. What?
And what it looks like now.
No. I like version A better than version B. Just, even though there was a megalomaniac mayor, I still like version A better than version B. I mean, scary monsters.
Can Raystrom fill in what's happened since then?
Sure.
I mean, I don't know how much Raystrom knows. That's why I'm asking more so.
Since you left and they left you there, you helped protect the town a little bit from the creatures that were pouring out of the deadwood. They're still there, but have been with the canolith creature that was summoned by Marietta. They're kept at bay. They're not coming into the town anymore.
I think I like regular goats as opposed to those icky goats you mentioned.
Yeah. Fox, just to give you a very condensed version, I murdered the mayor and called him a rapist.
Therapist.
A therapist. And we fled the town. And then when we came back, apparently we were heroes. So
Sounds like that guy had it coming.
Yeah, because what I said was true.
Like, she's like poison, or just like use a dagger, or like,
Oh,
well, he was a terrible guy.
But how'd you do it?
Oh, that's the best
made sure
part.
and cover her ears.
No, she asked. I cut his head off.
Like in a one clean sweep, or like you took your time, like just like.
I did it with the rapier, so it took some time.
It took a long time.
And she was.
Hence, I had a lot of medium to write on the floor of his mansion. Here lies Darian Lafee, town rapist.
I feel like this is the second time Raystrom's hearing this story.
It is, and I feel
progressing,
really
though.
like
Yeah, he's still like a little like, ooh, that's a new detail. Like, ooh,
yeah.
ooh.
It was a dark time.
The first
No,
time
it wasn't.
The first time was like, I liberated a town from a dictator, and then it just slowly.
I mean, that part is still the same.
And it was like a week ago.
It's like Batman has saved Gotham. Now Batman has like bad guys hanging in his basement. Maybe alive, maybe dead. Don't know.
Still
Is
saving
it
the
bad?
town.
That's so bloodthirsty, but it's so good.
There's definitely something satisfying about
There was.
making
You know what? Thank you for
justice.
saying that. Thank you for saying that, because I feel like nobody really acknowledges that part of it. How it made me feel.
It is quite intimidating and threatening, and also a relief and a sense of comfort knowing I'm on that side.
On my side.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
So
And-
Finley, like when
I mean,
I'm
don't
not
get on the
worried.
bad side.
I'm not worried. And she totally likes Erasure, so don't worry. It's
Oh
fine.
no! I'm trying to use this as a teaching point when I try to send Q in to be sneaky. Like, it's no disrespect to your skills. It's just I know what she can do when she gets in there,
Oh, I see.
and I'm still learning. But
that wasn't me being sneaky, Racer.
well, no, but I'm just saying when the sneakiness stops, I know what damage you can do.
Well, then I'm not particularly bloodthirsty like that. But I am
Yeah.
glad, Q, that you used your. I just don't have another word for it besides bloodthirstiness. But you
Aggression.
used it for good. You used it for good.
I did use it for good.
This is the one thing I will tell you, especially being in a profession that I've had for some time.
Do you do
Much
that
like-
too, Vox?
Much like how you have a ceremony or service or whatever like that for Kilmus, where it's a very definite, like, we are letting go. It's definitely good to establish some sort of ritual when you do that sort of stuff, because what you don't want is it's very easy for that ghost to follow you around.
So
And I don't mean. Oh, go ahead.
well, just, I mean, how much of a ritual or how routinely do you do this?
So I'm not really in the business of killing people, but I'm in the business of stopping people. And this is
what
this
you
is
need
my
to be in is the business of helping people.
no.
That sounds like a pretty decent business.
I'm helping me. Look, my point, Ian, is some of those things feel real satisfying at the time, but if you don't deal with them right then and there, they're gonna keep following you.
Do you have
So it's-
things following you?
Oh, I've got a whole parade.
That's good to know. Parades are loud. We would hear them
Yeah.
coming.
Mhm.
A living parade or a dead parade?
Very dead.
Oh. Well, that
Are
makes
these
it a
like
little confusing.
All I'm saying
Like-
is,
is this like a
Someone-
metaphor or like an actual dead
Parade
parade
of-
after you?
let's go with metaphor. That sounds
No,
that sounds better.
not let's go with.
Now's not the time. Now's not the
Now's
time.
not the time for a metaphor about a metaphor.
Yes, yeah, that.
It's a
Is
metaphor. It's not
there-
a metaphor.
Should we
All I'm
be
saying
watching our
is,
backs?
all I'm saying is, if you take a life, you have to be prepared how to wash your hands afterwards.
With soap and water.
Exactly.
Asira starts laughing in the background. She held it in this
2
entire
rounds
time.
of happy birthday.
Exactly.
When Asira
After you
starts laughing,
kill some-
Raceham starts laughing too, because I've been holding it for a while.
After you kill something, you gotta wash your hands real good. Like, get big
Takes
bubbles.
a rapier.
Splits the tongue in half.
No, I
Anyway.
mean, that's oddly comforting that you feel that way. Because like I said earlier, I don't I don't know a ton about you, Vox. I trust you because you've stuck with us for this long. And you seem very helpful and very eager to help also. So I trust you. But it's comforting to know that you have, I don't know, a ritual or some kind of driving force that tells you that this is what you should do if you do something.
We all have a past, and how we
Yeah.
deal with that past is differently, but it helps us get through to tomorrow. And I'm with you on that, Q. I know, Voxel, you are quite a mysterious man, but I feel like with Q, I'm on the right side of your justice, so I feel secure. I know if you ever do need aid, I would feel confident I would be doing the right thing by helping you.
I'm definitely not saying that you're not going to come into situations where things don't get messy. And again, sometimes you just have to do what the job demands, and that can get real ugly. But it's kind of like when you go to like a butcher shop, like you got one guy with a big knife taking care of like like a cow in the back, and then like it works its way up until it's like this big or whatever.
The loin.
Yes, but the thing is that in that sort of situation, you don't want to be mixing knives. The knife that you use outside is definitely not the knife you want to be using when you're serving somebody. All I'm saying is that killing gets messy, and if you don't have the right tools, it'll make you sick. So what I'm saying is, clean your knife off. Looks at you. Clean your knife off. Used to it.
You will take her rapier and clean it in the crook of her knee with her boots. Like, I don't know what else to do.
Racer's got expectative of a spear.
Clean.
Voxel will make a little like waterfall of blood trickle down with my illusion.
But why?
Finley's gonna turn around and like rub her weapons off with the hem of her shirt, but so no one can see.
Crazy.
Asira is gonna lean in to Q and go, "My daughter was okay with this behavior?"
She's totally into it.
I don't know. I mean, she probably wouldn't have done anything.
But speaking of ugly, because I mean, I try to look for the good in everything. That place where I found y'all, where y'all found me, that was ugly.
It was ugly. Which that's what I mean. You guys, like, Vox, you've done a lot to help me getting me out of Braska, helping my friends in the mirror, and then helping us with Jocelyn, helping us in the folly. Like, it just, like, you've done a lot. So I trust you. And Finley, like, you helped get us out of the folly when there was no way out. And Raystrom just...
Folly. What I know
too
about
much.
You would not know about the folly.
What's the folly?
Where we were on top of that.
Where we were on top of that is called the rift.
It's imagine all that ugliness you saw just topside and being allowed. It's hard to stomach. It's acceptable, but it's by a magical means.
What?
Exactly.
And I explained everything we saw in the folly.
Minor illusion.
No.
Censor it.
Sink or swim, kids. You got to see what it is.
Eyes.
No, he wouldn't do that,
Garrett,
even though he was tempted to do it.
There's baby dragonborn here.
Perhaps we should press on.
we should press on, but
Right.
but that's a terrible place, and how can it still be around? And they
Well,
were
when-
doing awful things under the rift.
Yeah.
Hopefully, when we meet up with concerns soon, we'll have a better idea of the fate of the folly.
Mhm. Yeah. So.
Lakota. I've never been to
Good
Lakota.
morning, everybody. Such happy stories to tell.
Alrighty. Finley, if you're leading again, give me one more survival check.
Maybe. Oh, right. Never mind. 15.
15. Okay. And then I need a d20.
My turn.
Go for it.
12.
As you're pressing onward, there is a startling discoloration in the trees up ahead, where the bark is fresh and green and lush with foliage. There is a hard line in the direction you're walking where the trees themselves are blackened in the husk of the bark, and it looks as if they're bleeding as jets of black ichor kind of stream down the jagged cracks of all the trees.
In the direction we're going is where we go from green to black.
As you press inward, there's an odd silence to the world around you. And feeling a hesitation of going in further into the trees, you drift a little more northward, trying to kind of circumnavigate this wood. Eventually, as you're walking, you start to feel very cold. The rain has stopped. In fact, it's been gone for the better part of the morning. You still hear the rain, but there is no rain.
Can I pass that along to everybody?
Yeah.
And like point out the trees and stuff? I don't-
Q's gonna look up to see if she can, like, if she hears the rain, if she can see any semblance of rain higher up in the trees.
There are no trees above you. You've walked
Oh,
out
okay.
of the tree line.
Got it.
And
Got it. Got it.
It is cold, damp, and wet, but there are no trees,
Okay.
no rain.
I want to use my primeval awareness to see if there are any aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, things, or undead around us.
You get to pick two.
You get, it's not a ping, it's not direct, it's not what you're used to of definitely knowing something, but there is a draconic essence pinging all around you. Like 60 or 70 pings.
I'm going to share that with everyone. And I'm going to look to Asira and say, I don't know if it's Dragonborn, but do you know anything about this? This is what I'm picking up on.
She begins to get close to the ground. You see her inhaling deeply into her nostrils. Something is not right. I smell my kin. They're close, but I do not see them. Be wary. We are not alone.
Yes, we push on, but just be aware. Be on the lookout.
Yeah.
continue to move forward, and it gets colder and colder as the hillside begins to dip downward.
Are there certain dragonborn that, like, you were breathing fire? Are there certain dragonborn that can do this?
Do what?
Make it cold?
There are many dragonborn that have frost as their primary weapon, but it's usually with the breath, not with the environment. I don't like it.
Me neither.
Well, and I mean, the environment's cold and the trees were blackened. Do we go further into the Deadwoods? Do we stay here out in the open? How close are we to Lakota?
Would I know based on how far we've traveled today?
You should be getting close.
Okay.
I mean, could the Dragonborn have come and destroyed Lakota? Do you think, I mean, would there be any reason, because anytime I went around the Zaget, they all stuck to the Zaget. Would there be any reason for them to leave the Zaget?
I do not think that they would go east. Even if Yawin or Velasa would want to wage war on the Empire, they would fortify in the north to protect against assaults from the capital.
That makes sense. The South isn't seen as a threat.
And Jocelyn said we should be on our best behaviors when we were there.
And then we weren't. Oh. I don't know, Finley. I think either you or I should run forward, see if we can see something, and come back.
You might be sneakier than me, especially because we're more out in the open now.
Okay.
I do better in the forest.
Okay.
In the mountains.
All right. And I'm going to relay that to the group that I'm going to run up a little farther and see if I can see anything. And if not, I'll come get them.
As you run forward,
Mm-hmm.
Are you trying to sneak in or are you just running?
Yes, I'm trying to sneak in.
Okay, go ahead and do a stealth check.
24.
Q, you take off, nimbly moving and jumping across the grass itself. And as you move, those blackened trees begin to become more and more numerous until they are a wall of bark and tree that just goes on and on as it travels down the hillside. For the rest of you, Q takes off for about 12 feet before she vanishes and is not seen anymore. Q, as you run and continue to maneuver through this endless labyrinth of deadened trees, you know something's not right. The temperature is drastically dropping. The last time you felt like this, you were down in that Underdark.
I'm going to turn around to the group and go straight back.
You turn around, everything behind you is a wall of those dead and black trees.
Okay.
Where did Q go?
Okay. Yeah, she just disappeared. Voxel, did you turn her invisible?
No. Vox is going to. So I know that with message, it has to be like 120 feet, and I have to have like at least an idea of where they are. I'm just kind of shooting because I'm assuming that she's just straightforward. Is that possible to use message on that, or?
Yeah, as she's running, you can send a message.
Okay. Box will just say, like, what do you see?
And say, it doesn't get any better. I'm trying to come back, but the tree's made a wall. I can't cross it. And I'm
Okay.
gonna stand right at the wall and say, I'm just standing right at the wall. I just can't cross it.
And we see the like trees like forming over, or
Nope.
no? Okay.
You see an open pathway. You saw her run, and within a few seconds, as she passed that 12-foot marker, she wasn't there.
What if maybe we just keep moving that direction and we'll catch up, or she'll come back to us?
Earlier you said something about how there's no tree tops. It's just the tree bark. So how tall are these?
The bark, as you look up, they seem just to go on and on up into the sky, which is oddly not a typical sky. There's no clouds, no coloration, just endless light.
And in either direction it goes on, or does it? Okay.
Vox will try to dispel magic as we get closer to where we saw Q disappear.
Okay. What level is Dispel Magic?
It's 4th level.
4th level? All right.
Yeah.
I need you to go ahead and roll a d20.
D20. Come on, buddy. Oh, nat 20.
All right. As Voxel takes a moment and kind of gauges the situation, he realizes there's something arcane about this that doesn't feel right. And then in a moment, his arms kind of blur into black. And he it's almost like he's wiping away the illusion that's in front of him. To all of your eyes, you see the light dissipate into darkness as you are standing how far down in a cave, you're not sure. Q, as it starts to dissipate, you start seeing this as well. You do not see your friends around you. But you do see 2, 3, 400 red glowing eyes occluded on Dragonborn, leaning against walls of the cave, motionless and staring. All chromatic. And that's where we're going to end tonight.
Ah.
Oh my gosh.